Before we get into the video, I just thought I'd post a couple of pictures of my British Airbourne, the paratroopers that I've just finished. These will be going with the Willys Jeep that I'm just about to show you. Greetings from the Eccentric Man, and today's video is going to be looking at the Rubicon Models 1/4 tonne 4x4 utility truck. And I've gone for the Commonwealth and Airbourne variety. Within it you should get the bits and pieces to do either the SAS truck, the LRD truck or the Airbourne. So I'll be putting this together to go for the Airbourne, and that's going to be for my British paratroopers that I've just finished painting. I'll add a couple of little pictures of those as we go. So a little model kit. I've got an American Jeep from Warlord that I'll do a comparison with. But let's have a look what we've got here. So we've got the outside of the box. It's dressed up as one of the Commonwealth ones. Let's have a look. On the back we get the idea of what ones we can make. We can either make the SAS, the Airbourne or the LRG. The Airbourne here they've got with the 50 cal machine gun. For bolt action and for my troops I want to run the two Vickers medium machine guns. Or the two Vickers LMGs, whichever way around it looks. I'll have to check that out. But it shows us colourings painting in the sandy colour, green ochre. I've got some of that, which is a bonus. And then we've got the decals on the back. So let's have a look and see what we get inside. So what do we get off? We get the instruction booklet, and then we get the Jeep body itself, a cover or hood. Two sections of selections of infantry. One is set up as the SAS, and the other is set up for the paratroopers and the Airbourne. Nice big decal sheet, and the rest of the Jeep components in the plastic bag. So that all comes up in the box. So let's have a look at the sprues themselves. So, the sprue of the main components all looks good. Yep, nicely cleanly cast. Some little bits on the bottom of the chassis. Radiator grille and the machine guns and the light machine guns. Yeah, they look all okay and nice. So we've got our crew sprue, steering wheel, arms, beret heads for the paratroopers and the bodies. So that's pretty good. A bit closer there. Scale wise they're quite good. They're not overly small, 156. So yeah, a reasonable size for the Jeep. So I've looked at the Great Britain Army book, Bolt Action, and I'm looking to do the Airborne Jeep with the two medium machine guns. But it's two Vickers machine guns, and you don't get them on here. Looks like you get 50 cal, 30 cal, and a couple of Lewis guns, but no Vickers. Have a look online, and you can see some Jeeps with Vickers machine guns, and Jeeps with Lewis guns for the British paras. So a bit of a problem on this already. So I think what I'm going to have to do is use the Lewis guns and change the seating point for them from being two Lewis guns at the back, which is either the SAS or the LRDG build, and this is going to go to the front. I had a look online as well to see where the driver sits, and it looks as if the British paras use the Jeeps with left-hand drive.
rather than right-hand drive. So we'll build it up as left-hand drive, and we'll try and fit the two Lewis guns up front to the right passenger area. So that's what we're aiming to do. So let's get a bit of the build done and see where we are.
So for today's build I'm using the Plasti-Weld, which should work better on the harder Rubicon plastic. I normally use the contactor glue, Revel bun, but on this occasion it's not such good glue for the Rubicon plastics. So I've gone for the Plasti-Weld. So things with the Jeep, it's got flat spots on the bottom of the tyres, they go on the ground. That's located with a D connector on the axles when they go into the wheels, so you get them right around the right way. The front part here is three bits. You've got the dashboard, which sticks onto the mudguards, and then the mudguard bit sticks onto the chassis. What you've got to try and do is get those two bits lined up, and you've got the triangle there with the triangle underneath at the back. I've dry fitted the bonnet compartment on, and that goes on alright, but for me that just looked a little bit not square. The wheels are obviously a little bit out as well, so I have to move them around a bit to try and get them straightened. But anyway, that's the first part with the wheels and the start of the chassis going on. So let's move on. I think we've got the front grille to do, and then the upper part of the Jeep. As I'm going to build the SAS for the British Airbourne, because I want the twin machine guns on the front, you need to drill two holes in the bonnet. It says punch, but I've drilled it to make it a little bit neater. Just a small drill, and drill them in because there's going to be a fitting that's going to go into them. So that's that bit, and let's move on to putting that on. I've probably got to put the side. So seats stuck in, and the gear stick. You're going to find the gear stick is a little bit fiddly. I've got reasonably thick fingers, not overly, but I struggled with that. You'll probably want to use tweezers, in fact, to put them in. I did struggle a little bit, dropped it a number of times. Yep, recommended tweezers for the gear shift. Right, seats are in, and I'm now going to put it on top of the body, on the bottom of the chassis, so hopefully that'll all glue in nicely. Well, the upper chassis went on okay, stuck down quite nicely, but I have no idea how I got the glue on top of there. And then I put my finger on it. Absolutely no idea. I've scraped it off, made it a bit flatter. I'll get some very fine emery cloth and wipe that away. Yep, a little bit more glue on there as well. God knows what went wrong there. But there you go. Jeep one fits very nicely onto the front, around the front bonnet. Oh, on the radiator. Yeah, all okay. Maybe a little bit out there on that corner. Let's push it in. Yeah. Around the sides. And the back. Oh look, more glue. Did really good on this one. So that's going to peel off, but hopefully we'll give it a bit of sand down and it'll be okay. Hopefully yours will come out a little bit neater. So, decided to use the SAS fittings for the twin mounted Lewis guns. But as you can see there, you've got B05 and B16. When you put them on, they are pretty big and chunky armour protection. And the Airborne Jeeps didn't have it. So what I've done is I've cut the support off of B41 to put onto the Jeep. So the two holes are now redundant, so they'll just fill up with a little bit of putty. So I've stuck the twin mount from the back where I've cut it off. and I've stuck it on the middle of them to support the Lewis guns. I'm hoping that I've put it the right way round. With a bit of luck. Yeah, as it happens, I think I have. Because you can see they're not quite right, you've got the fittings there. So I'm going to see how that runs with the Lewis guns. Of course they're not Lewis guns, they're Vickers K. So there's the two Vickers K, and they're going to be mounted up onto the top of the support there. So the two Vickers are mounted up on the support. I think that'll do. I need to just move it up a little bit, get it flat. Yep, that's about it. Yep, going to have to do it without the video on, so we'll get that levelled up. So, completed as far. I've got to do the two troopers that are going to go in it, and the driver has the steering wheel in his hands. So key things as well, don't glue the spare wheel to the back, glue it to the front, because the pictures I've found online of the British Airborne Jeep shows that the tyre is fitted to the front. So we've therefore got our two Vickers Ks on that rear support, which I've cut and stuck, and that looks much more airborne-ish. So they will suffice for my MGs. In bolt action, the Vickers Ks gives you 5 shots anyway for a light machine gun, same as the German buzzsaw rule. So it has the same effect. I haven't put the windscreen on because on a number of the vehicles that I've seen which have the guns fitted, they don't have the windshield on. And that's about it. I've got to find some bits and pieces of stowage to stick in the back, and that'll be about it. So I'm going to go off now and get my Warlord resin and metal Jeep back in a tick. So here we have a comparison shot of the two different Jeeps. One set up for the Americans, and one obviously I've just made for the British Airborne, and I've put a British Airborne guy in the middle. So just to give you some idea of the sizing. Let's just move them up against each other. So there's not a lot of difference in size. Rubicon 1, slightly longer, slightly wider, I would say, yeah. But I like the size more of the Rubicon 1. Whether that's too big, I don't know. I've got the British Airborne going next to the Rubicon Jeep. The Warlord Jeep, and then next to the Rubicon. I think probably fit size-wise more for the Rubicon. But there we are, that's it. Next up, I suppose, painting it. So, yeah, a pretty easy little build, apart from if you've got fingers like mine, and you've not got such good motor control, and you splash the glue over everywhere. That seems to be what I've done on this model, so which is pretty good. But key things remember for this one, this is British Airborne, so it's stripped right down for weight issues. No windscreen. Tyre at the front, that's to stop bullets going through the radiator, I would hazard a guess. And use the twin Vickers mount from the rear, bit of a feature, to stick to the front to mount your two Vickers guns on. And that should do ya. So, thanks very much for watching. Just a quick one on the Willys Jeep build. And we'll have to paint it up first thing off, and get the crew figures painted up in the same sort of camo scheme as I've got there for my paratrooper, and get the picture up as it completed. Next up, might have a game. I'm hoping to have a game tonight with Colin. May get a battle report out of that one, and also for the next unboxing and build will be the British Paratroop Tetrac, a little tank that was taken in one of the bigger gliders and landed in some of the battles. So that's next on, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, learn from my mistakes, and have fun. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, please do so. If you think your friends would like it, please share it with them. So thanks very much for watching. See you soon.